This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, hi everyone. Very good morning all. Okay, so
I have a question, sir. If you don't, can I ask this?
yeah, yeah, good. Can you be louder a
Basically,
little bit?
yeah,
Yeah,
sure. Am I audible to you?
yeah, you're audible.
So basically, should we have to make any notes while you're teaching, or if not, uh,
It's
like,
upon you, right? It depends upon you how do you want to take. I'll
okay,
be sharing the notes at the end, right? I already
okay,
mentioned in the demo as well. Like what are the
mm,
notes I'm going to write that I'll share
mm,
you along with documents.
sure.
Okay, also the videos and diagrams will be shared. But still, if you want to note down, you can go ahead
Okay,
and note.
fine. Yeah, makes sense. And we can find recordings on the YouTube, right?
Yes, yes. You didn't recording the YouTube is only for demo, but rest of the
Okay.
videos will be shared via the drives. You
Yeah,
have
sure.
a drive location, will be shared there. Okay.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you, sir.
Okay, fine. So, guys, we are going to okay, we are going to have for next 3 days. Okay, for next 3 days, we'll be having the introduction classes. Okay, we'll be having the introduction classes. Okay, so this is important. Okay, we are going to have this introduction about DevOps, about the life cycle as per the agenda, whatever it is shared. Okay, because this is important as part of interview. Okay, it's not only just for interview, but also when you attend your manager round, right? That time this is very important. We have to put effort here. Okay, we have to put effort here. So it is mandatory. It is mandatory for us to learn about the introduction part. Okay, introduction part. So we require this notes because if I just go in a flow and speak, okay, I can just speak about it, but you need to refer the video again. You need to get this data out. Okay, so better let's recap these things so that even your demo will be refreshed and this will help you going forward in your interview. Okay, because the understanding of DevOps is very important because when you're starting with DevOps, the introduction plays a major role in your complete journey of DevOps. Okay, then we'll come to your next second. We'll come to your Linux. As per the syllabus, we'll come to Linux because that is a base of this complete DevOps, right? So we'll speak about this Linux in depth of Linux, and then we'll start your DevOps tools. Okay, that is how I start for rest of the courses, rest of the batches, right? So that is how I proceed. Okay, fine. Let's proceed with that. Okay, and let's move on. Fine. So this will be first three classes. I'll have introduction. If we complete in two, it's fine. Otherwise, we'll minimum take three classes, and then we'll start the practical sessions from there. Okay. Okay. Before that, right? How many of like most of the you, if you have AWS accounts or not, like because that is mandatory, right? AWS account is mandatory for proceeding with this. Okay. So I'll share this document as well. Okay. So let me walk you through. Otherwise, walk you through how to create a AWS account first. Okay. How to create a AWS account because that is also important. Okay. That is also important. So let me paste this AWS account creation. Okay. We require this one. Well, they should be created only then your practicals will start. Only then your practicals will because no, there's no hard system requirement. You require this laptop, that required. No. A basic laptop is required, a browser is required, and an internet connection is required. That's it. Nothing else apart from that. Okay. So we'll be doing everything from that case only. So let's see how do you create AWS account. So first creating an AWS account, Twitter account, open this URL, click on sign in, right? There's a create AWS account button you'll get. Create a free account. Then at the right time corner, click create AWS account. It is there. I have guided you all these things. Okay. And then enter your email ID, your password and password. Give any email ID, any Gmail account you have, which you are using currently, and give any passwords which you want to keep for account. It's not a Gmail password. It can be any other password. You can give it, and give a short name for your account. Whatever name you have, then give a name for it. Continue, and this is a free months, 12 free months creator account. Okay, 1 year it will be free for you. 1 year it will be free, but there's a limitation in that. How to use it? I'll tell you about that. First, let's create an account. Next, okay, this is sharing. So next what you need to do is it will come to this page. Make sure we are using a personal account, not a professional account. We are using a personal account, only the personal account, not the professional. I've written here. Okay, only the personal account, because we are individuals, we are not organization. Just enter your details. Your name, company name is not mandatory. There is no asterisk anywhere. Just give your name. Okay, your country, your some address. If you're staying in some nearby Hyderabad, Madhapur, Kukatpalli, whatever address, right? Not mandatory. Exact home to home address is required. Okay, that is not required. City, state, and postal code. Okay, that's it. Just fill these details casually. Okay, put these personal details, and then check this one, create an account. Once you create an account, it will ask for credit card, debit card. Do not get panic about your credit card, debit card. No one is going to deduct the amount from your credit card, debit card without your permission. Okay, without your permission it will not be deducted. Only initially, why they are bringing this credit card concept? Because to check whether you're genuine user or not. To check whether you're genuine user, they will take your 2 rupees. Only it will be taken your 2 rupees, and the 2 rupees will be reverted back soon. 2 rupees will be reverted back after 2 hours. Okay, just add this card, and here your card will never be added to AWS. As per government rules, your card should not be stored. Okay, I'll show you that as well, where it is written, how it is written. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, where it is written, how it is written, I'll show you that. The card amount will not be fetched, not any per 1 rupee, because your card will not be saved. As per government rules, never the card should be saved at any payment method, right? So, as per the government rules, it is not allowed to save. Okay, I'll show you that as well. So just to clarify a doubt. Okay, see here, due to government regulatory changes in India, starting from September 2022, you will not be able to save cards in your AWS account. AWS will not access your card details after your payment. That means once you make a payment of your 2 rupees, it will come out. The card is, see, my card is not there. I have to, if I use debit card, credit card, it will ask me to add the complete card details. Add the complete card details. That's the reason you don't have any kind of issue with your account, right? Simple. Even if you there's some bill, mostly the bills will not come. Mostly the bill will not come. Hardly, even if you use, it will come to 32 rupees or 100, max 100, 150 it will come in a month. In a month it will come 150. That too after your 1 or 2 months. After 2 months of time it will come. Okay, but not so early. It will not come. Fine. So enter your credit card, debit card details. Okay, submit. Once you submit, it will ask your phone number. Enter your phone number. It will generate a OTP for you. Verify that OTP received on the phone number, and once it is verified, continue it. Okay, and now come to step number 8. Choose your plan. We are going with basic plan. We are not going with developer plan, not the business plan. Okay, we are working on the free account. That is more than enough for us, free account. And then, okay, your Amazon account has been created. Now enter this URL, console URL, sign in. Once sign in, you'll ask you what is your role. It's a student. I'm interested in IT software. Okay, just this is just a for your just just a formality, nothing else. Okay, the main is your till here. Once you create the account, start logging into it, and here from here you'll be asked your email ID. Enter it. Then it will ask your password. Email ID, password, you can enter it. It will sign in here. Once you sign in, you'll see your home page like this. You will be seeing your home page like this. Okay, you'll be seeing your home page like this. Okay, forgot about the recent visited. I have recent visited. You will not, you guys will not have this one. The rest everything will same. You have a console home. Okay, all the details will be here. All the details will be here on your console. Okay, this is the first page. Till here you have to log in. Okay, it's a free. You have 750 hours free. That is completely 1 hour. You have a free session. Okay, completely have a 1 hour free session. So don't worry about that. Account is free completely, but use it in a proper way. If you use it in a proper way, it will work for you for next 1 year. Okay, I'll tell you how to use that one. First step is create this account. Later I'll tell you. Okay, tomorrow daily one thing I'll tell you. Okay, little bit theory, little bit of practical I'll tell you. So tomorrow we cover, today we cover this one, right? Creation of account. Let you create the account, then I'll tell you how to connect EC2. Okay, so within these 3 days we'll cover three different things in the technical part: how to connect with OpenSSL shell, how to connect with your putty. Okay, how to connect with putty, and parallelly gradually we'll take your theoretical part as well. Okay, so create your AWS account. I'll forward this doc, okay, to the institute. Those people will forward you. Okay, follow that one and proceed. Okay, because that account creation is very important before we start practical, that is important for us. Fine. Any queries, guys? Any queries you have in this? Okay, so follow this doc. I will share you this doc. It is simple, like a just registration account, nothing else. You can easily create this one, very easy to create. Go ahead, create this one, make a payment of 2 rupees. It will give back the 2 rupees back, and your card will be deleted from AWS. They will not take your card. Okay, card details are not kept anywhere. It is removed. The card is automatically removed. Okay, fine. Select this one, try to log in till here. Okay, once you log in, you'll get a home page like this. Okay, you'll get a home page where I'll tell you how to create a machine, how to connect to that machine tomorrow. Okay, first the account creation is important. Fine, let's jump into your DevOps introduction. What is the introduction of DevOps? Let's proceed with that. Okay, introduction to DevOps, right? So you guys have attended my demo, then or you have seen my video. What this DevOps stands for? So this dev is your developer, right? This dev stands for your developer or your development team. In this development team, there are developers. In this development team, there are developers, and here your ops stands for operational team. Operations team, operational team. Here, these are your DevOps engineers. Okay, your developers, your DevOps engineers. Fine. Now, what is DevOps then? Okay, what is DevOps? Okay. What is the definition of DevOps? People ask what is DevOps. Okay, they'll ask you what is the DevOps process, what is DevOps, why we require DevOps. Okay, that answer will come from you. Okay, that answer will come from you. Answer will come from you. What is DevOps? It should come from here. DevOps is a process. DevOps is a process. I agree. There is a technical thing there behind this life cycle. There are some tools, but we'll come to our tools in some time. Okay, we'll speak about tools as well today. Okay, culture, DevOps is a process, practice, or culture of development, development and operations teams working together, working together for building and quality product, okay, using proper DevOps life cycle, using proper DevOps life cycle, okay, building and quality product using proper life cycle from, okay, right from designing the website, you can say designing or planning, designing the product, designing of the product till the delivery of that product, right from design of the product till the delivery of the product. That means this complete DevOps practice, I told you, right, it is used not in one industry. That's why the job is very high. The jobs are very, very high. Okay. The demand for this is very high because a lot of jobs are getting opening in different industries, not only software. You have in automobile industry, there is a software department. Their software, your bankings, all your banks have a different software departments. In that software departments, you'll get a bank jobs. You'll get a jobs there. Okay. Same way, financial institutes. Same way, you have your e-commerce websites. Okay. All your Flipkart, Mintra, okay, Nika, everyone has their own software developers or your DevOps engineers who is managing the website, right? Every place you have these jobs, that's the reason it is booming. It is booming in the market and lot of jobs are getting because I showed you, right? Almost 10, 15 industries are there which are using DevOps. That means industries are speaking, not about your companies. Every industry has lot more companies. Okay. Now, okay, let's come to your life cycle. Okay, we understood DevOps. Now we understood the definition of DevOps. Now what is this? They're saying that DevOps is a process, practice, culture of development, operation team working together for building a quality product with using proper life cycle. What is this life cycle? Okay, what is this DevOps life cycle? Let's see that. There you'll get to know the end to end. Okay, there you get to know the end to end. Your tools will be there. Okay, life cycle of DevOps. Life cycle of DevOps. Okay. What is this life cycle of DevOps and what is that? Here, your each and every tool will be listed out. All your complete tools overview will be listed out in this life cycle. Okay. Here you will get an idea. Because of this life cycle only, your complete DevOps technology came. Okay. Initially, DevOps they wanted a process. That process they converted into a technical thing that is coming from your life cycle. Okay. Let's see that from where it is coming. Okay. Continuous planning. Very first life cycle is continuous planning. Then you have something called continuous code and build. Okay, at every life cycle there is a tools associated. We'll list the tools as well. What are the tools? Which all teams are going to use these tools? We'll speak about that. Okay, which all teams will use these tools? We'll speak about that. Then continuous integration. Then you have your continuous deployment, continuous testing. Then you have your continuous feedback. continuous improvement, and finally you have your continuous monitoring. Okay, continuous monitoring. Okay, fine. So your life cycle, let's go briefly and see in within this life cycle where are my tools coming, where are all my DevOps tools be coming. We'll see about the overview of DevOps tools in this, and we'll speak about one line about the tool so that we'll get a overall understanding. First, with this introduction, we'll get an overall understanding about DevOps. What is DevOps? What is my work? Okay, what is different teams? What is my role? Okay, all that things you'll get an idea. Then slowly one tool will start it. Okay, we'll start one tool. There's no rush. We'll go slowly with one tool. Fine. Now, what do you mean by continuous planning? Simple term, right? If you want to build a quality product, you should have a proper life cycle. When I say life cycle, yeah, there are so many things in this. Then one among first thing is your planning, because whenever you build a product, you should have a proper planning. So that planning, what you'll do. So this is nothing but your requirement gathering phase. Gathering phase. Requirement gathering phase. Okay. For designing. Okay, for designing any software. Okay, it can be a website. You're building a website, a software, it can be a product, anything. Whatever you want to build, you should have a proper requirement gathering phase. That means you should gather all the requirements required for your work, all the requirements, etc. Okay, requirement. So, requirement gathering phase for designing any software product, okay, etc. Okay. So, who will capture these details? Who will interact with details? So, who is the person who is going to capture. So requirement gathering phase. In this feature, what requirement will gather? Okay, so here these are requirements are gathered by product team. There are different product team or your product managers from clients, because client is the one who is going to give you the work, right? So client is a person who is going to give you works. It can be a clients, it can be a customers, okay, or it can be a merchants. People say one more word called merchants, etc. Okay. So which is a tool? So what kind of a gathering they'll do it? That is also important, right? So basically, okay, requirements are gathered by products, merchants, etc. Like the features, what kind of a features you want. Okay, what should be the design? Okay, design of the product. Then what should be your code? If you're writing a website, then what should be the, okay, language? Okay, in which the code language of the code. Okay, language, which language of the code you want to write. Okay, how you want to perform the testing. Okay, how you want to perform the testing. Then how do you want to, what kind of an infrastructure is required, what kind of infrastructure cloud is required. Okay, what kind of infrastructure cloud. Okay, the cloud and the resources what you require here, right? Then your budget, what budget is there, all these things, etc. things are gathered by, who will gather this, which team is involved here? Team involved is your product team. We say product or business because we are not MBA professional, right? We are not going to speak to them. And then what are the tools here? Tools are your Jira. Okay, Jira ticketing tool. And also all this requirement is gathered by them, right? Okay, even the work is assigned to respective developers, DevOps engineers, and QA teams, and QA engineers. Okay, all these folks are assigned work, okay, by product managers. Initially, the product managers bring all this work because they are the people who interacted with the client. So, who will assign the work? Product managers. Okay. Then you have service now. If most of them are working, then they might have this kind of ticketing tool. And no need to worry, this kind of a tools are already in the company installed. They'll be giving you normal KT, how to create a ticket, how to open a ticket, how to update a ticket. They'll give all these details. Okay. So very first gathering requirements of planning, which is done the planning, and this planning contains all these details. This planning contains all the details about how and what your product is there or what your website is there, right? All the details. Now, continuous code and build. So, what is this continuous code and build, and why do you require this continuous code and build? Okay, why do you require this continuous code and build? Fine. So basically, continuous code. When you say continuously coding and building, so who will write this code? This developers develops or writes the code here. Developer write the code. Okay, what is the code? And it is stored. Code is stored in source code management. Source code management repositories. Okay, repository is nothing but a folder, but I'll give you the actual meaning when we start that GitHub. Okay, so folder. So source code management repositories. Okay, now once the developer develops the code, he will store this, or you can say store or push the code into the store or push the code into source code management repositories. Okay, now what is the second one we have? Build. What do you mean by build? Okay, the build is nothing but whatever code is written. Okay, the code is executed. In the code is build. Code is built and executed. Okay, for okay, for getting the software. Can be a website. Again, this code is built and executed for for develop for developing the software website and your product. It can be anything, right? So they do the build and execution for developing this software and everything. Okay, so that we can get the actual functionality of that product. Actual functionality of the product software website, whatever it can be, right? For that purpose, they write this code. If you don't write a code, how your website will build? Anything, right? Anything, any electronic product also you take, you have any software product also, there is a code, some kind of a code. It can be a Java code, it can be a .NET code, it can be any code. Okay, any kind of a code is this. Okay, now which are the teams involved here? Okay, 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 for getting the final product. Anyway, getting the final product or your software website, anything, right? So now, what is the team involved here? What are teams involved here? So your developers are involved here, developers and DevOps engineers. Why? Okay, developer, DevOps engineers are involved here. So in this developer, there are multiple. Okay, and yet DevOps engineers involved here. So what both will do here? Okay, okay, DevOps engineers. So basically, this developer will be writing the code. Okay, so here the tools are used is tools are used. So here you have a GitHub very first. Okay, second thing you have your Maven, and finally you have your one more tool called Nexus. There are three tools involved. So very first developer will be developing a code. It's not only developer. Tomorrow when you do automation, when you write a some script or when you do kind of automation, that also is stored in GitHub. That also is stored in GitHub. So all these things are stored in GitHub, right? So also this code is, we are not writing code. Again I'm saying, we are not going to write any kind of a coding. Code is written by developer only. We are going to build and execute. We have some good tools to build and execute. That is where DevOps team is also involved in. But we are not trying to write any kind of a code. No code writing is done by us. We are the admins of these tools. We are the admins of the tools. That's why we have involved here. We are the admins. We have the complete control on the tool. Okay, we have the complete control on the tools. We are the admins of the tools. Fine. Now, so this GitHub is used for your one thing is used for your tracking the code, and second thing it is used for your storing the code. So what do you mean by tracking? Why this GitHub is used for tracking? What is the need of this tracking? And why do you require this tracking, right? What is the need of this tracking and why it is required? Okay. What is the purpose of tracking? Why I want this GitHub only? I can store it in my local, right? In my Windows, I can create a folder. Simply, I can create one folder, and that folder I can keep it here. I can go and create a folder here and keep my data here. Okay. Why I want it, right? What is the need of this? What is the need of this? Why I want this one? Okay, what it will make a difference? Why I require this one, right? What is the need of this? So if we see, let's assume that okay, let's assume there's a common folder for a team, and here almost your team have 10 members. Okay, you have team has 10 members, and these people, okay, let's suppose they're changing some content in one of the file. They change the content in the file. So basically what you see here, type, size, date modified. Type, size, date modified. You're seeing three things. That means, let's suppose early morning one guy came, he made a change. His name was displayed here. His name was displayed on the file. His name was displayed on the file. And then after some time, what happened? One more person came. He also modified it. After the third person came, he modified. His name was coming. But what did the first person, second person modify inside a file? What was done inside a file? I know that this person modified a file, but what was modified, how that will be tracked? That cannot be tracked. Okay, he has done some changes within this one, he has made some changes within that one. We really don't know, right? What he has done it, what he has done it, we don't know. Inside a file, what changes he is making, we don't know. That is not tracked. It is only tracked saying that this particular person has made a change, but what he has changed, which line it is changed, which word is changed, what modification is done, because that is important, right? What happens, let's assume down the line, next 5 years, someone was 5 years, there was a developer, or let's suppose there was a DevOps engineer who worked for a longer time, and suddenly he left the company. Now, what all things he changed, what all things he updated, okay, what all things he has developed, everything has to be seen here. Everything should be visible for a new person. If that is not visible, how that person will start the work? Okay, that's difficult, right? Maybe they are written some older files, so there someone has written the file, but who has modified, what kind of a word, what kind of a sentence, what kind of a statement is modified, that we don't know. So to get the idea of that, we require your DevOps tool, which was the tracking. Proper tracking is done, right? Who, okay, when, who edited, who and when edited, okay, added, deleted, okay, okay, which line is was edited, okay, which sentence was edited, okay, which word was edited, right? Whether it is edited, deleted. So whether he modified a word, okay, which line. So who and when, who edited that file, when he edited, when he deleted, and which line he modified, which sentence he modified. Each and everything has to be recorded. It's not only that, right? So that's the reason proper tracking is required. And storage, proper storage is required for storing the code, right? Because this code has to be stored. Code has to be stored. We'll speak about this more when we learn GitHub. Now it is just a, GitHub is a version control system which does the tracking, which is used for tracking and storing the code. Okay, GitHub is used for tracking the code and storing the code. Fine. Second, Maven. Now, so much of code is written that is stored, right? We spoke this diagrammatically as well. When we went to your, when we draw this diagram, that time we have seen that we have seen this diagrammatic as well. Okay, we spoke about this. Very first developer will write the code for storing the coding, scanning. Then he started the Maven build. Second is building. Why so much of code is written, right? That code has to be built. Only then the website can be launched, right? So second is your Maven tool, which is called a build tool. Build tool. This is used for performing all the build activities. All the build activities, performing all the build activities. This is used for performing all the build activities. Okay, build activities. Okay, so this one not only. So what all things it will do? It will build and execute the code. Basically, it will do a build and it will execute the code. It will generate the bundle of the code. That means it will generate a bundle. This bundle is called as, we call this bundle as artifact, because this contains some functionality. It can be a jar file, it can be a war file, or it can be any file, right? Any other format file. So this is what the artifact. Because after you execute all this code, this is your final product. This artifact is called your final product. That means this is used for launching a website. This is used for performing all the functionality of the website. Okay, fine. So all these activities is done with an automated tools. There is no manual work. How developer was doing traditionally will speak in the tool. When we learn tool, I tell you previously how a developer was executing traditionally manually, how the manual process they were there, and how we are using this tool now, which is helping and which is making our life very easy. Okay. And finally, when you build this bundle jar file, you have to store it, right? So this Nexus is an artifactory manager. Manager. That means it will artifactory manager will store all the artifacts, okay, which is used for storing all the artifacts. Artifacts means all the jar file, war file which you develop, jar war which you develop, that is stored. Okay, and also this nexus is required for tracking the storage, like who uploaded, okay, when uploaded, okay, then okay, his username, what is username, his IP address, okay, etc. things will be tracked, because so much of effort is kept in writing this code and then we have built this code. Now if this is lost, let's suppose this jar file war file is lost and some other person gets in his hand, he can easily launch a duplicate website with the same name and he can do some fraudulent transactions. He can do a fraud transactions there. Okay, he can sell a product where he is not going to ship anything but he is going to take the payments. Okay, so make sure this has to be stored in proper location, because there's an effort. First code is built, Maven has triggered, finally we stored in Nexus. Okay, finally stored in Nexus. Now come back. Okay, next thing. So these are three tools which are coming as part of your build: GitHub, Maven, Nexus. Now next tool, let's see what is the next one. Okay, what is the next tool coming from your contents integration? Okay, what do you mean by contents integration and what is the next tool coming from it? Okay, contains integration. What do you mean by integration? Integration means connecting each other. Okay, connecting or building some sequential. So continuous integration, the process of connecting one tool, or you can say connecting one tool with another tool, another one tool with another tool, because okay, because because the building process of application should not break. Okay, should not building, what are the you're building, what are the application you're building at the time of building, to do everything in a sequential order. Okay, first they write the code, then we pull the code from GitHub. First they write the code, right? When they store, the developer is going to store this code in the GitHub, right? So this code has to be pulled, then Maven builds has to be triggered, then it has to upload it to Nexus. So all these tools will integrate with each other. So we are connecting one tool with another tool because the building process of application should not break. Okay, should not break. Okay, okay. And what do you mean by one more meaning of integration? Integration contains integration, also process of building, okay, building the product in a sequential order. Building the product in a sequential order. Okay, it's a process of building the product. When you're doing a development process of building, or you can say process of building, or you can say building or developing product in a sequential order. Okay, in a sequential order, that is called continuous process. Okay, continuous integration, which you keep integrating continuously. So what are the teams involved here? Which are the teams you'll use here? The team involved here is mostly the DevOps engineer will be using it. Okay, mostly DevOps engineer is the one which will be using it, right? And then hardly DevOps development teams will not use that much, but teams is DevOps engineer. And tools here are, okay, your Jenkins. Jenkins is the tool which is, okay, Jenkins is a tool which is used here. Okay, very powerful tool, very automation. This is called Jenkins is a very powerful tool. This is it's called your continuous integration tool. People say it's a continuous integration tool, or some people call it as automation tool. Some people say it's an orchestration tool, which is connecting all the tools or integrating all the tools. Okay, it is used for your automation integration tool. Okay, used for building, used for the building activities, used for your timer based jobs. That means in case you're not available in the midnight, right? Automatically you mention a time, it will build it, right? It will build it. Then your credentials are stored securely. And here when I say build activities, it will do all the, okay? It will build the artifact, what a jar file, right? It will build the artifact. Okay. It will store the build logs. Okay, build logs are stored. Build logs are captured. Okay, captured properly. Okay, you build time. What is the time of the build? Build, not only build logs are captured, also your build time. Okay, who build it, etc. Things is taken care in picture. That's why this one tool is very powerful, and this is the graphical user interface tool. This is the graphical interface tool which is used, right? And lot more features are there with it. It's not this much. There are a lot more features which will provide a lot benefit out of this. Okay, this is one tool which is powerful, which will integrate with all the tools. Okay, this Jenkins tool integrates with the rest of the tool. Okay, this is a graphical. Okay, Jenkins is a GUI and integrates with all the DevOps tools for providing flexibility for the DevOps engineer to manage all his work and all the work from single location. That means you can manage all the work from Jenkins if you integrate all the tools to Jenkins. Okay, that makes your job easy. And if you feel so many tools are there, no, all these tools can be finally integrated with Jenkins, and Jenkins will take care of all your work. A single tool you can manage completely all the work, right? That's the beauty of your Jenkins. That's the beauty of your Jenkins, which will help you in managing everything. Which will help you in managing everything. Fine. This is about your Jenkins, which is the fourth tool along with your life cycle, which is coming. Along with the life cycle, which is coming. Okay. Now, okay. What is the deployment? What do you mean by continuous deployment? Continuous deployment is a process or a mechanism, okay, for putting the product, software, or a website in a proper location for getting the functionality, getting the functionality, getting the functionality to use the features, getting the functionality to use the features. What are the features are developed? To use the features of your whatever it can be, right? Your product, features of the product, software, website, anything. So simply, right, in simple terms, if I say more simple terms, let's suppose a TV is built. How do you test a TV? Or how do you use the features of TV? Simply, you brought a LED TV, LCD TV, right? How do you see the pictures? How do you see the features of the TV? Until you start the TV, can you see it? You have to plug that in a plug board, start the TV on the remote. What is that process of owning or starting? Owning or starting the process is called a deployment. That means you're deploying something. Simple, right? You have a fan. If you want to see the fan rotating in different speeds, one number, two number, three number, how that will start, how it will show its features of functionality when it starts. That is nothing but deployment is a process of starting something product in a proper location and location to start the simply keep it here. Let it be, okay, for getting the functionality to use the process. Fine. Okay, so deployment is a process mechanism for putting the product, software, website in a proper location for getting the functionality to use the features of the product, website, or software, anything. Okay, simple terms, it's just a deployment is a name itself is given deployment, but it's not a big word. Simple, right? Something you start. Until you start a machine, can you see the functionality? Can you see the features? Can you see how well it is working? It's not possible, right? Something you have to start it. It's your mobile phone. If you want to use your application, that means the functionality of the application, features of your mobile, you have to on your mobile. That is called a deployment process. Something you're starting to checking the for checking the functionality of feature is called, okay, it's called your continuous deployment process. Okay, now what are the teams involved here? Main team involved is your DevOps team. Okay, no other teams will come here because we are the person who is using these tools. We are going to learn all these tools. It are small tools, not that big. Okay, there are all the teams here in the DevOps team also. They'll have a segregation further. Someone says it's a DevOps engineer. Don't get confused. Someone say site reliable. Again, I'm reading site reliable engineer. Okay, who works customer site. This is also DevOps engineer. Someone will say a DevOps engineer is called a system engineer, but at the end you're a DevOps engineer also. Or they say integration engineer. Integration, that is also DevOps engineer only. He will be integrating all the tools. But end of the day, all these are part of DevOps teams. People say give a different name, but you're a DevOps engineer only. Okay, don't get confused with that. Then what are the tools used here? So very first tool here, Nexus. Sorry, not Nexus. Nexus is done, right? The very first tool is your Ansible. Okay, Ansible. Second tool is your Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, Docker and Kubernetes. Then your Terraform. And finally, you have your Jenkins. Okay, Jenkins is also a deployment. With the help of Jenkins, both you can do a CI/CD operation. Both CI, this is called CD, this is called CI. With the Jenkins, you can do both. Okay, why this Ansible is required. What is the reason of this Ansible? I told you, right? Why this Ansible is required? Because let's suppose you want to do the huge installations. Let's suppose 100 machines you have to install one software, 100 machines you have to uninstall software, 100 machines you have to do the validations. Let's suppose in 100 machines or more than 100 machines, you have one configuration file to be edited, one file to be edited where you have to make 50 changes. In single file, you have to make 50 changes. It's a tedious task. Every time you have to log into machine, make a change, verify everything, come back. It's a manual effort required, right? To avoid the manual effort, you have a Ansible tool. This is called your automation tool. People say automation tool, or people say it's a configuration management tool, which is used for installations, uninstallations, your validations, okay, okay, editing complex editing, or you can say updating complex configuration files. In single shot you can do all these things. That's the beauty of your Ansible, right? Ansible will do all this in single shot. That is where Ansible is used. Fine. Now, what is Docker and Kubernetes? Since Docker and Kubernetes, why it came into picture of why this Docker and Kubernetes came into picture of the market, right? What is the reason for it? Because if you deploy everything in the Tomcat, okay, Tomcat is also one deployment tool. Tomcat is also one deployment. This is a Tomcat is a web server, or we can say a web or application server used for launching the webs, launching the applications, launching applications, okay, launching applications, so that you can check the functionality of the application. How do you launch an application? Okay, this was done in the launching application in the VM based setup. That means virtual machine setups. All your machines inside of machines. But what happened if you deploy 100? Because in the real-time website, it is not deployed in single machine. They deploy you deploy a product in thousands of machines. In the thousands of machines they deployed. So now the infrastructure cost is increased. Lot of infrastructure cost, because you have to buy 100 machines, 1000 machines you have to buy, software has to buy, CPU RAM is not free, okay, the hard disk is not free. And then Tomcat, if they're deploying a subscription version, then they want a license for it. So everything cost. So this cost is very high when you deploy directly in the machines. Then what they bought a concept of containerization, where they thought, why don't you create a software which can provide you a lightweight operating systems where you can reduce the number of machines. So there is where they brought this Tomcat, which is a containerization tool, okay, which will help you in everything. So this is called your Docker is your containerization tool, which will reduce the cost. Containerization tool for reducing the infrastructure cost. Okay, and this Kubernetes is also for reducing the cost, but this came for your it came as an orchestration tool for all the containers. That means this will monitor. This Docker has a drawback. Docker has a drawback where it cannot monitor all the containers to keep the system 24/7. So they brought a orchestration tool which will, okay, orchestration tool for containers which will automatically heal the container in case something goes wrong. In case your container is down, it will heal up container in case it goes down. That means if the container goes down, it will bring up automatically. So all this deployment, basically this is used for your, okay, is used for your Docker Kubernetes, used for your deployment activities. Okay, deployment activities. done by Docker and Kubernetes. And finally, why you use Terraform? Terraform is a infrastructure automation, infrastructure provisioning, or you can say automation. So basically, if I say go here and create your create your 50 machines, give me 50 machines. I'll say give me 50 machines and install your 50 machines, create your hard disk, create your CPU, everything, right, attach it. It's a very tedious task, right? Every time you go there, create a machine manually, there are 5 6 steps involved. How much time it will take to create that to different CPU RAM configurations for the machines. Tedious task. So infrastructure automation can be done. It's not only that your VPCs, your load balancers created by this. So all the infrastructure automation or provisioning can be done from here. And finally, this Jenkins works as deployment tool as well. It will work as a deployment tool as well, because when you are integrating all these tools to Jenkins, when you're integrating your Ansible, when integrating your Docker, when integrating Terraform, that means Jenkins can perform your deployment activities as well from the graphical user. Okay, via graphical, via GUI. Okay, that is where these tools are important. These are the main things. The more weightage is coming here, right? Your Ansible, your Tomcat, Docker, Kubernetes, your Terraform, Jenkins, right? So this is your deployment. Deployment is simple a process where you deploy a software and check the functionality. Okay, that is called a deployment process. Any clarity, guys, so far? Any doubt so far? I'll take a pause here. Any questions? Any questions? Now you got from where the tools are coming. Previously, DevOps was a process. They brought a process. In that process, they had a life cycle. From that life cycle, they brought all these tools where different teams are using this one. Okay, this is how the tools came out. Initially, it was a process. Now they brought to run the process smoothly. They brought a tools called a DevOps technology tools, which are we are using here. Any questions, guys? Any doubts? Anything? Any questions? Any doubts? Yeah, TeamCity is also a tool. That is a single tool which will do your deployment and build both. Okay, but that is a licensed tool, right? It is not open source, so hardly few of the companies will use. Hardly few of the companies will use. Okay, rare people will be using it. Okay. Yes. Any other questions,
So,
guys? Which I can help you? Any
GitHub,
questions?
Maven, and Nexus are working on the same code, right? So, this they write the code in GitHub, like they store the code, and Maven will build the code, and Nexus is
Okay.
storing
Storing the
the
final
re
answer.
re final result. So, is it
Yes.
like connected to each other, or we'll
Yeah,
have
you
to
can
do
connect, you can
manually?
integrate to each other. If
Okay.
you want to use it individually, you can use it. In case you want to automate, because our end goal is automation. We are going to do the
Yes.
automation. In future, we are going to call as automators. We are going to give DevOps automators. Like developers are at coders, right? Developers are called coders. They do the coding. We are the automators. So we are going to integrate all these tools to one to each other, and then we are going to automate that stuff. Okay, that's the reason we are using this. That's the reason there's a connection between these tools which you can automate easily. Any other questions, guys? So more 2 days, bear with me, because this is important. Okay, because most of the folks know all the tools, but when we ask introduction, what is your understanding DevOps, what is your life cycle understanding, where these tools came from. Okay, when you understanding about these things, people don't have answer. There is where people lose their interviews at the manager round. Okay, so not to lose that one, this is very important at the beginning level as well. In the technical round also, people will make a questions, because now what is happening, everyone is trying to move to DevOps. In that situation, they have a doubt whether this candidate is genuine or not, right? So that's the reason they will ask these questions definitely. Okay, for that reason, make sure you be prepared for anything comes, be prepared. So that's the reason I'm putting some work here, because if I go with the flow, at the end you will not remember these things, but these notes will help you till your interview is cracked, till you get the job, right? And after, even also after 2 years, if you crack the interview, same thing you have to learn again. So one time you invest a time, it will be helpful for rest of the career. Okay, rest of the career, lifetime career, it will be help you. Okay, any more questions, guys? Anything I can help you? So tomorrow, first create this account. I'll share you this document today. I'll ask them to upload this in Drive. Tomorrow, we'll create a machine. First machine we'll create, because by that time we learn the theory, we'll create one machine and we'll try to connect as well. Okay, so that we can start a Linux practical. After this 2 days of this theoretical, we'll start the practical as well. Fine. Any clarity, guys? Any doubts? Anything? Are we
So
good?
we are writing the code and we are like storing it, we are executing it and we are storing it. So what are we deploying exactly? So we are deploying
Sorry.
the whole code into the server? No, I want like
Whole
the
code to
step
server.
from.
See, what is our role? I'll tell you about that. Is why I told you, right? These questions will come. That's why I told our role will come here. Our role will come here. What is our role? You have to understand. We are the DevOps engineers. We are managing all the tools. Each and every tool which is here, we are the admins of the tools. Only developer is writing the code. Once he writes the code, how do you build the code? How do you deploy that code in the web, in the Tomcat, so that your application is launched? So we are maintaining all the applications. We are maintaining all the cloud operations. We are responsible for all the DevOps tool and maintenance of website. That means whatever is code is writing, what is the purpose of writing a code? For building a software, for building a website, or building any kind of a product. So that product has to be deployed in some location. Otherwise, it is not just writing a code, right? Main goal of a company is what? Selling his product, selling his website, selling his software. So that software has to be deployed in some location so that people can make use of it. Okay, people can make use of it. Example, your Instagram and your WhatsApp, it is deployed somewhere. That's the reason you are using it in your mobile application, right? Otherwise, how you'll use it? So that's the
Got
end
it.
goal, right? That's the end goal of it. Okay, that's the end goal of it. So you don't need to worry about the code. You just need to play with the code. You need to build the code. You just Developer will be writing a code. He'll be giving all the instructions to you. You start building and deploy the website so that end customer will start using that one. End customer will start using that. In that building process, there is a storing process. There is a scanning process is there. There is deployment process is there. Okay, there is a automation process is there, which will be working on it. Okay, you'll get more clarity in next 2 days. You'll get complete clarity about your work. That is the reason I have brought this one, so that first you should get the end-to-end picture of DevOps. That will help you going forward, right? So that's the reason I brought this one. So next 2 days you'll get the complete picture about your work, about your tools, about the different teams, your roles and responsibilities. Okay, so that the questions which are there in your mind will get cleared. Okay, fine. Any more questions, guys?
I have a question regarding building. Can you hear me now?
Sorry,
By the way, sorry.
questions regarding
Building.
building. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, building is not like basically when I write any code in my local computer, I
Okay.
compile it and then I run it.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
how I
Yes.
do.
Yes. That is
However,
how it is done.
building is nothing but like, is it similar to building?
It is the compiling. First, any code is
Mm,
compiled to check the
mm,
syntax errors. Why
mm,
it is compiled? Two reasons. One is syntax errors. Second thing is your machine
mm.
doesn't understand human language. Machine
Exactly.
understands ones and zeros
A machine
language,
readable language.
because
Yeah, exactly.
who will process this one? Hardware will process it, right? That's the reason I'm not going
Mm,
very in depth. You will get in
mm,
depth when you start learning Maven, right? I told you, I'll tell you this
yeah.
traditional process, how it is built, how internally
Mm,
it works, how Maven does the processing. That will come.
okay.
Okay, but as part of your
Uh,
tool, because I can't
mm,
cover everything in the introduction, because we'll
mm,
come when you go to tool, right? We'll give you very in
mm,
depth of what is the introduction, why Maven, what is the reason Maven, how do you do the
mm.
compilation manually, how do you automate that compilation. We'll speak about that.
Sure.
Fine.
I have a couple of questions, sir. So the first question is, in the market, there is one more build tool like Gradle. I think you must be familiar with that,
Yes,
right? So
Gradle is there,
why are it?
Ant is
Yeah.
there. In market there are multiple tools are there, but
Okay.
everyone is using the dependencies for Maven. If you see,
Okay.
Maven is the one central. If you go to Maven central, there's a
Mm,
Maven is the one central which is your
mm,
dependent tool.
okay.
Everyone, if you see simple jar, you
Mm,
find one jar HTTP.
mm,
So just find this jar and take one
mm,
version. See,
Okay.
there are different tools, but everyone is coming to Maven only. Why? Maven is the
Okay.
most market. Everything, even your Gradle
Mm.
itself is dependent on Maven. That's the reason
Oh.
90% of the companies, 90% of companies
Mm.
go with Maven. Process is same,
Okay.
logic is same, way of using is different. That's why
Oh, so
we
we,
choose a
yeah.
tool
Mm.
which is market most used in the market. It's not that you
Sure.
learn
Got
some
it.
alternative tool and then you feel like no, I have to learn the standard tool. So that's why
Okay.
if you learn this tool, rest of the tools,
Mm.
even if you go and search in YouTube, you'll easily learn it because you know the logic now. You know the logic, you know the understanding of it.
Yeah.
That's why
Got it.
everything is
Makes.
standard, which most of the company are using. We have done the research
Mm.
on this. All these DevOps tools, we have done the research. We have seen the
Mm.
weightage, how many companies using what tools. Then we have proceeded with this course content. It is
Okay.
not prepared simply on the flow. It is prepared based on the market standards.
Okay. So basically, the output of the Maven is a Java archive file, right? Java
Yeah,
artifact file, right?
yeah.
Okay. So basically, suppose for example, let us consider full stack application. If we write any business logic in Java language, of course we use Maven for building packages and stuff. And whatever the output we get, it will be redirected to the front end, and the front end part of the website will render the output to the user, right?
Okay.
So then, what is the use of Nexus, sir? Like
Why
whatever
Nexus?
the Maven,
Okay.
yeah, whatever the Maven is building, it is being sent to the front end part of the application. So, what is the point
Why
of using
Maven is
Nexus?
not building front end? Who told Maven is building front end?
No, no,
Maven
no,
is used for a
no, no,
back
no.
end
I'm
part.
saying no, no, no. Maven is using the backend part. The output of the Maven will be sent to the front end, right?
Let it set to the front end or back end, doesn't matter. This
Okay,
contains what? This jar contains your complete website. That means it is not just a normal file. It will be
okay,
minimum in the real time. If you take it is more than 10 GB. Can you where do you
okay.
store this 10 GB data? And if this is lost,
Uh,
this is lost.
hmm,
People
hmm,
will make a duplicate website of your company and they'll sell the products there. Fraudulent will
okay,
happen here because this is the
okay,
secured location. You can store it wherever you wish because here is the hard work kept. All the what are the code is written, what are the Maven is written, what are the code you have
hmm,
built, executed, you have tested. All the effort is
hmm,
put here. If this is
hmm,
lost, your company's
hmm,
data is lost. Simple example, right? Okay,
hmm.
just give me 2 minutes. Just
Yeah, sure.
okay. Take an example of simple Amazon, right? Real time example I told. I hope you didn't listen my uh, demo properly, right? So when you see your Amazon
Hmm.
website, how many fields are there in Amazon?
A lot of
How much data is
fields,
there in Amazon? How much tabs are there?
huge,
It's not only
tons
front
of
end, it's
data.
also your back end, guys. It's not only a
Yeah.
front end. This front end is connected to back end. Again, the database is connected. So
Hmm,
now, when you get a sale day, when you have your timer is set here, a sale day 12 o'clock, you're going to get the sale.
hmm,
How within
hmm.
fraction of seconds the website is changing to your discounted pages? Is it possible to change manually? It's not
No,
possible.
no,
That is
it's.
possible with
Hmm,
your war file, jar file. That's why this is the main product. You can't store it however you wish, wherever you want. You want a proper storage because tomorrow
okay.
you want to fetch this file. The speed of the
Hmm,
file should be fast. But same thing you do in Windows. You copy this
hmm.
10 GB file from one folder to the other folder. It will take 1 hour of time. Is the time
Yeah, there is some
available for 1 hour
latency.
time is there
Hmm,
for making your discount page? You told at 12 o'clock exactly your sale will start. So within fraction of seconds, the deployment should happen. How it is possible? That is possible because your Nexus allows you to pull the data, push the data within fraction of seconds. So understand that it is not that every tool has its importance. Okay, we can't predict that this is what we can do. No, it has a proper structure. These people are given. Okay, these people has
hmm,
provided a proper life cycle. This is very important. Okay, that's why I'm stretching here. Okay, this
hmm,
Nexus plays a major role. You see that one. You copy this 10 GB file inside a server, it will
hmm,
take 1 hour. The
hmm.
you upload in Nexus within fraction of second
Okay,
it will upload because the speed matters.
okay.
Speed matters. Tracking
Uh,
matters. Tomorrow,
okay.
if you lose this
S-
one, come
hmm.
business is lost.
Okay. So, is Nexus using any cache memory, or if not,
It
in-memory
has
data
everything. I'll
connectivity?
speak about that. There's a lot more
Yeah,
things.
sure.
It will track the code. It will do because
Okay.
storage is not right. If only the storage was the
Hmm.
condition, I can store it
Mm,
in only in my Windows, right, on my Linux machine.
mm,
It has a
mm,
proper memory optimization, because if when you're
mm,
using a Nexus, that means
mm.
when you're using a Nexus, it has incurred storage cost as well. So how it will optimize the storage cost, how it will use the caches, so that whenever the
Mm.
frequent data is used, how the cache will happen. When you learn the
Okay.
architecture, you will get the idea of this. Okay, how it is
Sure.
reducing the
Yeah.
time, it will tell you that time. We have to
Okay.
learn the
Thanks.
architecture, then you will understand about the Nexus, how it is
Yeah.
using a memory optimization, how it is making use of things. Okay,
Sure. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
okay,
Okay.
fine. So guys, we'll connect tomorrow. If any more questions are there, I'll definitely answer your questions tomorrow. Okay, if you have more questions, definitely will be answered. But right now I have some other sessions, so I have to drop off. Okay, we'll connect same time tomorrow, 6 o'clock sharp. Okay, 2 more days, bear with me, you'll get a complete picture of your DevOps. Okay, from fourth day we'll start our technical part. Every day 50% theory, 50% technical will be covered, and daily I'll give you the notes, your documents, and your videos will be shared. Okay, fine. Thank you guys, see you tomorrow same time. Okay, thank you, bye bye.